Today, I am going to reveal to you a powerful practice. It's one simple step that you can start doing right away that will change the game around who you are being and the energy that you are carrying across the threshold into the barn, into the arena, into the pasture, and beyond, okay? And while what I'm sharing has the potential to really change the game for you with your horse, so this is through the lens of horse, this can apply to your human relationships, to other areas of life, okay? But we're doing this through the lens of horse. So before I reveal this one sacred step that you can start taking right away, I want you to know that this is not like, I am not a horse trainer. This is not horsemanship. This is simply what I dare call personal purification, radical self-responsibility, and is something that I believe as a conscious horse guardian who wants the best for our beloved equine companions, for our loved ones, etc., something we ought to be implementing every day if possible. Anyway, okay, it's more about checking in with the energy and the emotions, again, the predominant frequency that you are carrying to the place or space that you're hanging out with your horse, whether on the ground or on their back. Now, the other thing that I do want to say is this is not about perfection. It's about progress. It's not about making yourself wrong and or fixing yourself or any of that, okay? This is a judgment-free zone. So let's get that out of the way. This is more about expanding your awareness and empowering you now with new information and therefore choices and decisions that you get to make going forward to level up your leadership and your guardianship as a horse conscious woman on the rise. Okay, so this one step, and this may seem simple, but the question is, are you doing it? Okay, and so what I want you to do is to pause before you head out to the barn or wherever. Pause and just check in with yourself. Take a few moments, close your eyes, receive a few breaths, and just ask yourself, what is your overall vibe? And I like to use like 3 words to kind of describe my vibe in the moment. And we're not talking about what was it first thing in the morning or yesterday, but in that moment as you are heading out to the barn. Can you check in with yourself and ask yourself, what is your overall vibe? Is your overall vibe clear, connected, and grounded? Or is your vibe something else? Is it maybe stressed or anxious or nervous? Like, be honest with yourself, again, without making yourself wrong. You get to be human. But once you have that answer, now you get to ask yourself, is that vibe, whatever your answer was, is that what I want to be bringing to my horse today, to my time with my horse? And if it is not, if it's the latter, if it is something that doesn't feel clear and connected and grounded, then we get to ask ourselves, how can I shift this? And this is not about spiritual bypassing. It's not about toxic positivity, because your horse can sniff it out anyway, right? Horses don't lie, and they know when we are, okay? If we're faking, trying to be confident or clear or whatever, right? They know, okay? So what you now get to do with this information is, maybe you're gonna like go for a little walk. Maybe you're gonna do a little breath work or brief meditation or something to shift your vibes, right? And again, this is not about overriding your emotions, because I truly believe that your feelings, all of your feelings, are valid and valuable. It's just, what are we doing with that energy? Because we know that our emotions are energy in motion. And so can we channel that energy into something more helpful, more empowering, right? That is the question. That is the alchemy. And so you get to choose, again, whatever tools that you might use to shift the energy. You even maybe have the choice if on a particular day, like I'll say this, I've had days where I was really stressed out and maybe in a funk and kind of even like angry. And I chose in that moment to rearrange and reschedule the time that I was going to spend with my horse, because I did not want to bring that into the arena. Okay, and so you get to choose, you know what feels most aligned and true for you in the moment. And obviously you have free will to do whatever, whatever you want. But at the end of the day, what my intention here is with shedding light on this and opening this conversation is we can choose to start cultivating a practice, a daily devotion, a ritual if you want, to shift and step into who we are being when we are being with our horses, again, our loved ones, and beyond. So if you love this information and you would like to go deeper, I want you to know that I have a 5-step EPONA'S Equine Guardian check-in ritual that I developed for myself because I went through a patch last year. In case you're new to me, because I've shared this story before, where I was navigating some really intense emotions of anxiety and fear, and I was doing deeper work with ancestral healing, like releasing inherited pain and fear and all of these things. And if you want to look at it the way of the world, it's like the Wild West out there. And I think anyone who is sensitive, who's a deep feeler, like you're feeling it on some level, right? And so I think it's our responsibility, our divine duty to up our guardianship game, to level up our leadership, right? In terms of really expanding our awareness of, again, who we are being. What is the energy that we are carrying with us, with our horses and other important situations, without, again, doing that bypass and slipping into toxic positivity, because that's not what I'm trying to say. And if you would like to learn more about unleashing your inner alchemist, which for me is all about what the Fire Horse year is about. She is like alchemy in action. She is using her inner fire to not only set her passion and her soul's calling on fire, but also to transmute and transform whatever fear, doubts, resistance, challenges, roadblocks along the way, so that she's creating magic and miracles and momentum. And so if you resonate with the vibes of what I am calling the Fire Horse Queen, who for me is none other than my sacred guide, Epona, the horse goddess and guardian, right? And so I'm hosting that next week. It's a 3-day event. If you want to join, the information will be down below. I would love to see you there. So either way, I thank you so much for joining me today. If you received value, if you're going to start practicing this and checking in with your vibe, let me know down below. And otherwise, I will see you next time. Ciao for now. Namaste. Together we ride, together we rise. Love you.